Tonight on the 31 Nights of Halloween Horror, sometimes a film comes around that changes your entire existence, that opens up new doors and explores new horizons in the human experience. This is not one of those films. Tonight's movie, Night Killer.
Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of the 31 Nights of Halloween Horror. The 31 Nights of Halloween Horror. It's got a lot of bit of horror. It's got a lot of bit of Halloween. It's all a fantastic voyage. Oh my god, I'm gonna scream. I'm sorry, I don't know what got over me. Oh, it's got to be the madness, actually. It's the madness. It's the madness, man. It's the madness. Oh, my goodness. All right. Tonight. I have reviewed some movies that are shocking, disturbing, violent, vile, disgusting, putrid, reprehensible. All of them pretty much masterpieces. However, sometimes a movie comes along where I sit there and I watch it and I am glued to the screen. I cannot take my eyes off of it because it is so moving and wondrous in its way. It makes me wonder and be in awe of its essence. I have to know what continues on, how this is going to go, where does it lead? And sometimes that movie is absolute dog shit. But oh my goodness, is it a glorious pile of steaming dog shit. Oh my. Oh, and so tonight's movie, Night Killer. Night Killer. Oh my goodness me. And you know, the thing that surprises me about this is that I find it so darn entertaining. So what is that? I mean, there's, I'm preparing myself. I'm preparing myself for this. Holy shit. So what is Night Killer about? Oh, fuck me. What is this movie? Well, it starts off with a woman who's late for her, I guess, like dance practice, audition, whatever it is. I don't care. It doesn't fucking matter, honestly. Though it does give you that sort of dance giallo vibe at the beginning, which I was like, really kind of set the mood. I'm like, oh, okay, I kind of enjoy this. And then all of a sudden, you see the killer with the ridiculous claw and the mask, though you think, well, is that supposed to be a mask, or is that really supposed to be like some kind of demon, or what? You're not sure. But when he puts his hand through someone, and you're like, I'm not sure whatever. But anyways, it's a double homicide happens in the opening, and then we get introduced to our main character, and she is a woman with a child and what seems to be like an alcoholic loser ex-husband who seems to call her and harass her, whatever. Anyways. So she's inexplicably looking at her topless self in the mirror, going, yeah, this is me. I'm like, what is going on here? Anyways, she gets a call from this killer. And apparently he's killed many before and tends to have a sexy time with the victims before, after, maybe even during. Anyways, I mean, I know they're all penetrated, but not that way. I think there was a phrase in there, copious amounts of semen or copious amounts of seminal fluid, right? Because semen, that's a harsh term, but seminal fluid, that sounds a lot more disgusting too. Anyways, so she gets a call from him and he's menacing her, and then all of a sudden she's in the house and he's got her right where she wants her, takes off the mask, and she's dumbfounded because she doesn't really react like you would after seeing the face of the killer. Anyways, and then boom, fade to black. Well, or fade to sort of blur out to the next scene where apparently she lives. Yeah, she lives, but she suffered amnesia, and her friend, her neighbor, or whatever, family friend, saved her from the mask-wearing maniac and got a nice scar on his face for his trouble. Maybe it's on this side. I don't know. Either way, whatever. Not important. And so, of course, the police and the doctors and psychologists and all this stuff, they want her to remember because she saw his face. And then they can use that to put an end to his, sadistic serial killing ways. But, of course, she can't remember shit. She can't even remember her name. And, so one day, as she's driving around, this guy, just kind of in this Jeep, just starts kind of harassing her and ends up following her into this building. She goes into the ladies' room. He goes into the ladies' room. She pulls a gun on him, makes him strip, puts his clothes in the toilet. And and later on, she's seen on the beach eating swallowing a whole bunch of pills, and he shows up and basically says, "Oh, you can't kill yourself, whatever, you gotta drink this seawater to vomit all this stuff up." And of course she's like, "No, I want to die," anything. And so he's dumping her into the water, literally, I don't know if that's forcing her to drink, but you look like you're trying to drown the bitch, man. I mean, I swear, you look like you're trying to drown a bitch. I'm just saying. Anyways, he saves her from killing herself, but then ends up making her a captive, and weird sexual things happen, especially with some chicken and her in a gun trying to kill herself. Anyways, the police are like, "Oh man, she's missing now, and what's going on?" And the killer's out there still killing people, and I'm not going to say any more about the plot. Let's just say, intrigue, twist ending, weirdness, and holy shit. Holy shit. Uncomfortable, very rapey stuff, and what seems like horrible incompetence by the police. And probably even more I would say malpractice by the psychologist, whatever, doctor guy, and an experience that just made me go, what the hell am I watching? And why am I glued to the screen, man? Holy shit. So let's get to those scores, shall we? Violence and gore. I'm going to give this a 3 out of 5. Just because there's a lot of violence. It's not super bloody. I mean, you're putting your hand through someone, you would think you would be blood everywhere. But not really. There's a throat slash, but not very bloody. It feels tame, but there's also some, sexual violence and stuff like that. So, I mean, it's got weight. It's got a decent body count. So, I'm just going to say, 3 out of 5. All right, 3 out of 5. Going to shock value. Shock value is a 1 out of 5. And, I'm not going to count the shockingness of the entire presentation of this film and what goes on. like taste-wise. It's more like the ending is a shock, and yet how ridiculous this movie is actually kind of makes sense, and it follows its own logic, which is, I guess, kudos, but it's so wrong. So yeah, 1 out of 5. Moving on to plot, and like, I'm giving it a 2 out of 5 because it is nonsensical and fantastically weird and really like paced weirdly, and it's, I know they try to do this sort of like, sort of shell game and going on, like, oh, where's the ball? Is the ball here? Is it there? And it works in a way, and it does follow logic, but it just feels wrong. It doesn't feel right. Nothing about this movie feels right. So, fuck it. 2 out of 5. Anyways, moving on to acting, and holy shit. Like, look, we're still not Nightmare Weekend level here yet. So, but I'm giving it a 2 out of 5 because, like the scene where the guy reveals his face, and she just kind of, especially in the context of the ending, she knows who this person is. So you would think that you would have a different reaction than just kind of like, no, it's not until, like, the end, it's like, oh, okay, now you scream because he's going to have his way with you. Ah, and look into the camera. Why are you looking into the fucking camera? You're not supposed to. I don't, but yeah, she is ridiculous in this movie. And, oh man, the voice of the guy who abducts her, wants to, just want to be friends, is magnificent, but also, like, and some of the dialogue is just great. It's like when he goes out of the bathroom and he's only wearing like his underwear, and the guy's like, "What happened to your clothes?" He's like, "I got molested in the boys' room." Runs out. I'm like, what? What? It's just like, you're gonna kill yourself. I'm gonna eat. I'm gonna eat this fried chicken. And the way he's eating the fried chicken too is like what in the world? And the police officer and the news media just, oh man, wow. 2 out of 5. Moving on to Nudity, and this has got a 2.5 out of 5. You've got a brief scene in the beginning, and then you get the woman of the hour who is like, I don't know. I mean, yes, she's got lovely breasts, and they keep being shown, but what is going on? Like, I don't understand some of, like we're just it's time to pop them out right now. Okay, it's time to pop them out this time. Okay, it's time to pop them out. I'm not complaining, but I'm just like, it's weird some of the ways that it happens. Anyways, 2.5 out of 5. And they're nice. They're very nice. I mean, I'm not complaining about that. Mwah. Right? Anyways, moving on to enjoyment factor, which is probably the most shocking thing of this entire movie and review, is that I'm giving it a 3.5 out of 5 because I enjoyed myself watching this movie, and half of it's just like, what's going on? It's the acting, the voices, the plot, the nonsense that's going on, the weirdness, and even, like, thinking about it, it's just like, it's like a train wreck with a explosive liquid gas truck then somehow hits a nuclear reactor and blows up an entire town, and you just watch as it just chain reacts all around you, and you're just like, I should probably not look at this shit, and I probably should be running for my life, but holy fuck, I want to see what fucking explodes next. Oh, look, it's me. Damn. Oh, I mean, holy shit, this movie. Oh, like... Okay. Sorry there, folks. It's whew, whew. I mean, it's not good, but it's something like I let two of my friends borrow this movie because I'm just like, I'm not going to tell you about it. You just watch it. And they have they brought it back and they are like, what the fuck was that? And I'm like, I know, right? Yeah. And I'm like, but the twist. And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, it makes sense. And they're like, yeah, but what the fuck was that? So, yeah, what the fuck was this? I don't know, but I liked it. 3.5 out of 5. But my overall impression is, and honestly, I think I'm being maybe too kind by giving it a 2.5 out of 5 because that means it's average, even though the acting's bad, the plot's bad. There's not a lot of shock. The violence and gore seems like it's not as quality as it could be or should be, and yet the pieces of this train wreck of a mess of a movie just create this gloriousness that must be witnessed. It's like the Matrix. You can't be told what it is. You just have to experience it yourself. So, Night Killer, 2.5 out of 5 overall impression. That averages to a 2.4 out of 5, which, it's not very good. I mean, honestly, 2.4 in the average thing still can be all right, but I guess, whatever. Anyways. Night Killer. Holy shit. Mind has melted. So tell me in the comments section below, have you seen Night Killer? Did you have the same reaction to it as I have? Maybe you didn't. I don't know. But leave a comment in the comment section. And don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe, and ring the notification bell and all that good stuff. And I will compose myself for the next episode of the 31 Nights of Halloween Horror. And until then, everyone, stay scary, internet, and yeah. Look, okay, here's the thing. If you're a killer, I know. It's probably very tempting to play with your prey. And it sounds like this guy likes to play with the prey, and I understand. I get it, guy. You're a murderer, so other ethical lines don't exist for you. So yeah, you probably rocks off everything. I don't know, but man, you are playing a dangerous game if you're spending 8 hours with this person. I think there's at some point you just kill someone. You just end it. I don't know. Why am I giving? Look at what this movie has done to me. I'm giving advice to the murderer. I'm giving advice to the fucking murderer.